swag on this one. She actually won't even die because of the boogers coming into support. But yeah, 2 swag abilities on the classic base, so that's how you want to approach it. And it's just absolutely slammed with the log launcher and arrow approach. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Word back again with another video, and I've got this Root Rider army back into Legends League. I just hit my 4th perfect day, as you can see. We've been absolutely crushing these bases. Yesterday, another great day. Today, my base hasn't been performing very well, but I did get a defense, and tomorrow I've got an amazing base lined up. So make sure you join my Discord to get the bases that I'll be running, and you can stay in the loop of what's doing well, what's not, and I'll tell you actually what I haven't been finding working well as an overall base. I don't think that, that style's been working. So if you join my Discord to find that out, to figure out what you should be running right now. But in terms of offense, this army is absolutely nuts. The equipment that you see right here with the king and the queen and the warden and the royal champion is just so strong. The king paired with the witches right here on the outside creates a nice funnel. The queen, usually with the log launcher, I don't even think I've used the troop launcher in 2 days now. I've used the log launcher every time. Really does well. And this ice golem in the clan castle does some crazy work in the core. So this army is just so awesome. It's really strong and so easy to use. So make sure you give it a shot. And without further ado, let's jump right into the attacks. All right. Next base right here, and we get a double poison, but a nice decent core. This is one I'd like to do a very similar approach as I did on the first one, even though it's a different style base of Royal Champion one corner and using the log launcher kind of on the other. So I think on this one, I might charge the mono. I might be baited though, but I think these scatter shot compartments are baited. I was gonna log launcher through the mono. But I'm just going to charge the mono right here. I don't want to mess up my timings. And I was going to log launcher the mono and charge the 6 o'clock side, but I decided to flip the plan because I want to get my heroes to the clan castle. I don't want to just let it kind of work me right there. I'm going to double cycle just because I see the tornado. There's probably giant bombs right here. I don't want my fox to die, even though, I'm going to be going into probably a little bit of a bait. So, yep, there's some damage. And I got one more invis right here. I'm just going to pop to make sure I get down this. That's a pretty good funnel. You see how far back that poison tower is, so that's definitely not going to be stopping me. Well, I wonder if I can hit the expo with that. No, I couldn't. So I don't want to risk my queen getting targeted on this one, so I'm going to switch that up a bit. King and witches are already on the outside, so we can start in right here. Going in with everything that I got. Want a headhunter to help out with the enemy queen. She's right in. I kind of messed up right there. I was going to say I flubbed up. On putting the skeleton spell down. That should have tanked the gear tower, and I was just too late, so it's doing absolutely nothing. But we're rolling in decently right here. I mean, king ability I'm going to pop just to kind of help me through this compartment, and I'll wall break him in, even though I got a bunch of snakes there just to make sure we kind of get that down. But yeah, queen's doing really well on this funnel, and I still had all my roots and dogs left, so I didn't really need to invest anything. Oh wow, there goes the whole red mine farm. That's awesome. I didn't have to burn anything through that. My warden ability, okay, there we go. I was going to say he's not following any of the troops in the core. There he goes, and this looks crushed. I don't even think I'm really going to have to use any sort of spell support. I got the overgrowth and a freeze, and I don't think I'm going to need the overgrowth, which is crazy. Usually the overgrowth is really nice for pathing. I'll just pop it right here, actually, though, to keep my queen alive, because, yeah, if my queen was going to get targeted by that expo and everything, and all the damage would have killed everything else, she would have gotten targeted. She might have died. But just overgrowthing it to let, not as much damage be on her, and then she can go support everything here. And we'll just kind of crush this one. There's no reason not to use it. I mean, it's in my army. Sure, it'd be cool to swag, but we're just going to dominate these bases. So I used it right here to kind of push the queen back to the army. If I'd used it on this compartment up top right here, then the queen would have died down here, and the roots would have been kind of right through all that. So that just wouldn't have been beautiful. You want to use it for pathing, and I kind of pathed all my troops together right there beautifully. So I'm not even going to need the rocket spear on this one. And 2 free spells once again being swagged. And yeah, we'll just keep rolling since it's going so well. Alright, so here we are, an invis base. Sometimes they hide in the decorations, so make sure you can see them. Probably get the log launcher ready just to be safe, but we'll see. I've got an idea of RC charging this expo, because that's a really nice funnel, and it's very cheap, which is all I can do with 4 invis. But, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to start down here. I don't want to go to that multi-arch, so I'm going to start on this wizard tower and get into the mortar. I'd rather get the funnel than the value, so I'm not going to get the multi-arch. And I think I'll get the ricochet cannon, though. It is a lot tankier. But yeah, it'll get me into the expo and builder hut, which I need for the funnel, so that's why I'm entering where I did. And then I'll be going log launcher through 9 o'clock right there through the Giga Bomb. I just want to get this builder hut, to be honest, and that's enough for me. So I'm going to put that one at 7 just to not risk any sort of damage coming into me. And then yeah, I'll extract right here. coming in, as I mentioned, from 3 o'clock with the log launcher. There's the ice golem. I'm going to get my king into that compartment. So I'm going to try and take that down. There's the king and witches. There's the wall break for them. I'll get the skeleton spell in right there. And then, yeah, roots right through the middle. I triggered the invis tower with the giant arrow. Make sure you don't forget to do that, because there are times I do that. Trust me, so you can forget. It happens. King's rolling in. We got our Valks ready to come in the base right here. I've got 2 headhunters coming in with the army. Nice poison right there into 3 ice golems and 2 heroes. I'll take that any day. There's the king ability, and I like using the phoenix for this reason. If I do happen to go into any sort of, big compartment, the phoenix is just better than this frosty where he'll die, so it really limits you to just the outside. I think we're pushing through this one fairly well. I'm already starting some cleanup just where I can. I'm actually going to overgrowth this top side just to push my troops all together. I don't want anything to kind of run off and go die, so in order to keep them all stuck together, I'm going to do this. I'm popping the RC Spear to get the Expo and 2 multi-archer towers. That's really good value for the ability right there. And the Queen has an Invis or a Freeze to help get this Ricochet Cannon, because that's the only thing I'm going to need her to get. But she's doing very well so far. It's getting tanked by all these skeletons. Look at all of them right there. I guess the bomb tower. Oh no, it's not helping take it down. So yeah, we're going to absolutely slam this base. I've got an Invis still left, and I can use it on my Royal Champion. I could use it on my Queen, whatever I need. But yeah, just using the one big funnel right there, one big funnel right there, and jamming the roots through the middle. I really like that approach, and we're going to just crush this base. 2 swag spells on this hit, which is awesome, because you're going to find yourself with a lot of invis bases. So make sure you know how to hit them, especially if you're a little bit lower in trophies or near the end of season. People will run them as well to try and get lucky. So that's what we're going to try and do on just this invis rage core base. We'll see if we find any kind of double invis bases. But yeah, let's get into the next one. All right. Oh, a nice rage core right there, and then a spell tower off to the side. This is an interesting base, a little asymmetrical. But yeah, I'd like to get my Warden ability right through that rage compartment. What I'm looking at right here is either charging the mono or the Giga Bomb. The Giga Bomb's a little tough, but the mono might be mega baited right here. But I'm still going to go into the bait. If you go into the bait, is it really bait then? Because I knew it was going to be there. I don't know. We're going to find out. So we're going to come in right here, ready for a second invis, just to make sure I don't take too much unnecessary damage. But just getting down the monolith and all these builder huts would be enough for me. So I'm going to hit this one at 7. Hopefully we can get the other builder hut. No, we don't. But I'm actually just going to invis right here. She might be able to take down the hug tower. I'm not really sure. I don't know how weak it is. No, not quite, eh? One more shot. Ah, not quite. Alright, well, I'm going to be entering from the bottom right here. I'm going to stick with my plan. Okay, I didn't miss the giant arrow. I thought I did. Ice Golem's going to come in right here, but the Queen's already getting targeted, so that was a little bit of a mistake by me by not putting that down first. But I want to use my Warden ability to push me into the core right here and into everything into this rage tower. Sorry, not the core is what I meant to say. Sorry, I was a little distracted trying to focus. But yeah, I can get right here. There's my rage. There's my Warden ability just to get me through that. Double Furnace is pretty easy to deal with right there. I'm going to use the king on the outside, but I don't know if I funneled that quite fast enough. They might all wrap, but that's fine with me. I've got the log launcher's goal was to get into the core right there. I was hoping my queen could take down that hook tower. Not quite. So I don't actually like that. The hook tower is going to keep snagging Yetis, which is a little bit unfortunate. So I'm actually going to pop the overgrowth right here. Nice. I should have hit the multi-archer tower at that point, but that's alright. We're going to be coming in right here. I'll get a couple of headhunters in for this enemy king, because it should be tanked perfectly. Yep, nice, right when I get them in. I think they both died. Okay, I got one alive in there, but yeah, it's going to die pretty quickly. I'll go with another one right there, because as long as I can get through this compartment, keeping an eye on my Royal Champion. She's kind of my bread and butter right now. I got my king ability still, but I'll be popping the skeleton spell right here, because the multi's going to negate it in that compartment. I guess it hit it right here anyway, but we got snakes. We got the Royal Champion rolling in through here, so we're going to wall break as soon as the builder hut goes down. Otherwise, the wall break would have targeted that wall. But yeah, I'm going to be popping the Royal Champion ability right here just to stay behind all the roots, the giant, the king. And we'll be making our way into this compartment. I'll use a freeze just because. Why not? I got people to donate me them. But if I don't need it, might as well not use it, not make them donate it to me. But yeah, in this one, I just might as well better use it. I got the king ability right here to just kind of take out everything on the outside. We've crushed this base once again. Yeah, very interesting. But if you get your Warden ability through the Rage Core, that's what makes this really strong, is having the Eternal Tome through all these Rage bases. And I think it's why I'm going to be running it different bases, Poison, Invis maybe, but I'm not going to be running Rage bases. I've gotten hit by Fireball, Dragons, and Eternal Tome every single hit today. So yeah, let's keep rolling on offense though anyway. Right. Huge Invis Rage Core. This is the classic base. And how do I like to do this? I see a lot of decorations all below here. Is very interesting. Tells me there could be giant bombs, but there's definitely not too many. And I just want to set a bit of a funnel, to be honest. But I think I'm still going to try and get my RC into the top compartment because it's just a lot easier. She can take that out a lot easier than trying to path my heroes in there. So that's what I'm going to do. And a log launcher from 6 o'clock and then route straight through. You know how we do this on these bases. A lot of these core town hall bases, even if it's not just the Invis Rage core, this is how I do it. So yeah, right here, making sure I'm going to remember to arrow the Invis tower instead of trying to line it up with a bunch of defenses and then forgetting there's a tower that I need to hit. I'm still going to hit this one on a single cycle. I'm going to take a scatter shot, which is a little unfortunate, but I guess that's all the value I need. I'm going to pull out right here. Nice. I didn't even take that. Did the furnace come out? Nope. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to make sure I trigger that right there, and I almost hit both of those things. Nice. That would have been a little bit too good to be true, I feel like. And something I think probably what most people struggle with is you got to actually let them funnel, right? Like, I got to make sure a good enough funnel is set right here before I go in. So I'm expecting right now, I'm setting my routes in. By the time that they actually go in, this Ricochet Cannon Expo, all that needs to be dead. So I tried to time it really well to where you see all the troops are actually going in right now. And just as I said that right now, everything is funneled on the right side. So that's perfect. I mean, there's this Expo, sure, but the Kings worked all the way outside here. So they're not going outside is what I'm trying to say. I'm probably just going to be using the overgrowth right here to keep everything even further into the core because there is a lot of damage on the troops right here, and I just want them to be able to get healed up by the healers that are not underage, even though I thought they would be. So King is rolling around this base pretty nicely. The witches are going to get crushed by the Ricochet Cannon right there, but I've got the Royal Champion doing really well, and she's got an invis even to use. The Queen's hanging behind, but we'll get the Flame Spinner. So I think we're looking really nice on this one. The Baby Dragon was in to clear the mono or the gear tower right there and did really well. But yeah, the Queen's rolling around really nicely behind the troops, actually helping out a lot because I'm going to be able to invis her through this mono and everything. And I'll pop it right there. And yeah, we got the RC ability and King ability. Huge swag. And I'll make sure I swag it by using the freeze and not swagging it. But yeah, the Queen will die, but I'm fine with that because we're going to get a nice massive swag on this one. She actually won't even die because of the boogers coming into support. But yeah, 2 swag abilities on the classic base. So that's how you want to approach it. And it's just absolutely slammed with the log launcher and arrow approach. Alright, next base here is the classic double rage base. I actually hit this one sometimes differently where I go straight into the mono with my troops. And I'm trying to think here if I want to do the same approach. I think so. I think I can do that on this one. So I'm going to start on this wizard tower. I thought the Tesla was going to pull me maybe. But yeah, heading towards the archer tower anyway, and towards the air defense. I'm trying to wrap around this outside. Maybe trigger the rage tower would be beautiful, but I'm not sure if I'd quite get that. Sometimes this approach can get a little close, but I usually, I haven't failed it yet, so it can be close, but I've tripled it every time. So I might start to double cycle right here just because of the sheer amount of defenses and the rage tower being here. I don't want to risk taking too much damage. But yeah, we're rolling in. Don't think I'll trigger this rage tower, which is a little unfortunate. That would have been way too perfect. I'm actually going to take it down with one more shot. Nice. That's insane. That's really, really nice value right there. There's the Queen ability, the log launcher even coming in. And I'm going to wait on the King just a bit because I really don't want him to just go die. The roots I should have put a skeleton spell down for because, yeah, now they're just going to be getting eaten alive by the monolith for no reason. I hope those balloons start to tank, but it doesn't really look like they are, to be honest with you. Now I'm starting my King. I'll wall break him in. Just didn't want to do that too early. And yeah, you're going to see right here, I'm pathing really nicely into this core. King's still doing pretty well. There's the Warden ability and the Rage they're not really being tanked, the roots. But yeah, I wanted to get into this Fire Spitter behind it. I'm kind of just keeping an eye out, seeing where I wanted to use that. Definitely want to get the Fire Spitter while I'm behind it. No point overgrowthing it. But yeah, right here, I'm probably going to use the Spear because I don't want my Royal Champion to get into the heroes up there alone. I did lose my Queen on the entry, which is a little bit unfortunate. I'm trying to see if I can get in a bunch of those headhunters. I'm not really sure. I'll get the Baby Dragon in while I can. But I'm going to freeze the Minion Prince and Ricochet Cannon because that's a lot of damage. Headhunters are here, but they're not really going to be able to help out in time. They actually do. I got Valk's tanking right here, which is a little odd on all these defenses. But hey, whatever's tanking is tanking. I don't really mind. I got one freeze here for my Royal Champion, but she does have her Fox. I actually don't even have a wall break for my King. That's a little unfortunate. But yeah, we're in right here. There's a nice freeze. Don't get the Royal Champion in it, but the biggest threat was the defenses. She's going to get another cycle off. Nice. So I might be able to use the Sneezy to really help out and finish off this base. We're kind of going to see what happens, but the Sneezy might be finishing off the Ricochet Cannon. I mentioned this before I even, had really started with the hit, but this approach can get a little close, but I haven't failed on it yet, so I'm going to keep doing it. I still think it, overwhelms the base. Like, I still got the Warden alive, so he would have Sneezy if he died, and it does take up a lot of your army. I could have saved my queen a little bit better, too, by starting the roots a little bit earlier, but I've 3-started every time doing this, so. Alright, let's see what we get. Oh, double poison, and very interesting, to say the least, on this base. We got a hook tower way in the core right here. Pretty high level, to be honest, 24. I think mine's only level 20. But I'd really like... I'd like to enter into the behind the fire spitters. That's always really nice for me. And I think I got a good idea on this base, too. I think if I could charge one of the spitters, I might try the left, because I think those poison towers gotta be baited. I mean, the fire spitter easily could be baited right here, but there's just no way. They baited both of these, and I think the left's usually unbaited, so I'm going into the left right here. We'll see if I get baited, but once again, if I'm expecting it, is it really bait? I mean, I'll tell you what, right now, I'm definitely taking a lot of damage. I hope this Tesla doesn't pull me, but I'm double cycling. Nice, it still lets me go into the core. There's not another one to pull me away. There's another one, but I want to get this multi-arch, actually, to really secure the funnel, so I'm going to try my best, but I didn't single cycle because, yeah, my Fox is getting quite weak. So I won't get that down, but that's fine with me. I'm going to come in from 6 o'clock with the log launcher. Ice Golem, I'm really hoping, can at least just tank. I got the skeleton spell right there on entry, which I think did get timed well enough to help out. There's a good headhunter right here, actually on both of these guys, which is awesome. I'm going to get my king starting around already. I'm going to get the baby dragon right there, but that wasn't really well placed. I should have went with roots because they're going to be heading that way anyway. I wanted to try and get into this hook tower. So the king's actually looking really nice on the outside already, and my queen's going to join the army and stay alive. So far, so good. Really nice and clean entry. Giant actually gets pulled right in, which is a little odd. But I might be looking for... Nice, the Ice Golem gets pulled in, so now I'm not going to overgrowth the hook. I was thinking about it, but I might be overgrowthing the scatter multi-arch just to make sure my queen stays with the army. I think that's what I'm going to do right here. It's not bad. Like, my troops would have been fine through that, but yeah, if I can get them all to stick together, obviously that's just a little better. I'm going to try and use Warden ability through all this poison tower section, so I'm going to pop it right there. Caught the queen even, so that's just awesome. The rage spell is going to catch the queen in the core, but more importantly, get these healers on the back end. Trying to get this wizard tower down, so I'm going to go with 2 barbs and an archer even to help out. I think we've crushed this one. We're going to be getting, after this overgrowth comes back, there's really not much left of this base. I'm actually going to get a lovely freeze right there on kind of... Oh, I missed the expo. But it would have been everything that's targeting my queen. I guess there's a builder hut over here, but I'm going to use one more freeze. I think I can keep her alive because that... I thought I missed the freeze on the archer tower again. Come on, man. What am I doing? But yeah, we're going to get a wall break right here. Swagging the queen ability on this one. Or the RC ability, sorry. But yeah, we're just going to get the log launcher kind of set up right through all that at 6 o'clock. I know it was a little bit tough to try and get through those 2 heroes, but I got a skeleton spell down. Not quite deep enough. And a couple of headhunters. And yeah, we really just crushed that one. So let's keep it rolling. Alright, let's see what we got right here. It's a very similar base to the one that I like to go log launcher through the corner, and I think I'm going to do it again because my king can get into this kind of compartment and handle it, and the log launcher is going to get some crazy value through all this. And then I'll probably just overgrowth the other side fire spitter, ricochet to really push my troops in because my RC will clear that, overgrowth here, and that kind of sets a really nice path. So I think I got a good idea right here, and I'm going to enter on this multi-mortar up top because if I went to the mortar or archer tower, there was the builder hut. Wasn't really sure on that pathing, but I don't think there's a doubt in my mind that I'm going to go into the expo right here. Awesome. Just as I had expected. So we ended up getting the pathing really nicely right there. I would have used for sure a redirect if I needed it. I might just double cycle right here to preserve my Fox health because this is all I need of the funnel. She's probably going to naturally go to the mortar and get a shot or two. Okay, she's into the multi-inferno, and I maybe could have used that actually to get a little bit of value, but we're fine with this. I want to get an archer out here to kind of start working on this stuff. But yeah, this time I'm actually going to use the skeleton spell as I had meant to. That's going to come in and target my warden, so nice. I got the Valks down to help that out pretty quickly. This one I actually did start a little bit too slow on my queen. I'm supposed to start her before, so hoping that doesn't get me into any trouble, but it definitely could. Headhunter onto the minion prince right there is really nice. I've got the queen rolling around. There's the king, obviously, as I said, to try and get into that compartment. Let's see what I got. I think my roots are staying fairly alive. I'd like to use my warden through this rage tower kind of compartment, so king's doing his job on this outside. The log launcher you see right there doing some nice work into the core. I'm losing a couple roots right here. I think I've lost almost everything, actually, and I haven't even got to my warden ability yet, so like I'd mentioned, we're looking a little bit too grim right here. I'm going to pop the Overgrowth right there to push everything together, and then I've got the Warden ability probably on these Yetis and Royal Champion, since that's all I really got left. But yeah, I don't like this. My Warden ability is not going to be used very effectively. Actually, there's a really good Warden ability, catching the healers with the Healing Tome, and the RC right there even. So we're rolling around. Could have used the Warden ability definitely a little bit earlier. That would have helped me out. I'm going to pop the RC and the Rage right here because that Overgrowth's about to expire, and I want my Royal Champion, yep, to get some nice aura here on this Scatter, on this Gear Tower. Or on this Expo, sorry, not Gear Tower. But yeah, my Royal Champion's really clutching this one up, and I got enough of an army definitely to triple this one out. So, didn't get a very good funnel. I definitely started my King and Queen a little bit too slowly, but they did, since my roots took all the damage and died actually, it meant my Queen got to stay alive and the Log Launcher got to stay alive since nothing was tanking them. So we still pushed right through the core, and like I mentioned, haven't failed on an approach on a box base like this. Funnel to one corner, Queen Log Launcher, King outside into the next compartment. Overgrowth over here to complete the funnel and just dive into the core. And if I used my Warden earlier, we would have crushed it, but another triple nonetheless. Alright, here we are into another one, and this just looks perfect for the Log Launcher. The only thing I'm thinking though is Sweepers and Fire Spitters and Double Rage are all going to be facing me, so I don't really know if I actually want to go in like that. I'm trying to think how else I could do it though. I could try and charge into this Ricochet Cannon. So I think I got an idea right here. I'm going to try and charge into this Ricochet Cannon. Do it similarly, but I'm not going to try and really go right down the gut because that could be really dangerous. I'm definitely going to have to use another Invis right here. Oh, nice. I wouldn't have if that... I knew that Tesla was popping, but I didn't know. That didn't even bait me, so that's really funny that, you know, he had those exactly to bait that RC, and it just didn't even work. But we're going to get the Expo down, and I think she's going to pop out to the Tesla. If she goes in, I might use another Invis, but no, I don't even care regardless. Don't want to use it. So I'm going to be coming in, yeah, straight from this 6 o'clock side. I'm going to be popping the outside right there. There's the King and Witches. I really want to funnel that corner. Popping that right there. And I want to dive into this Ricochet Cannon, or into this Rage Tower compartment super fast. So in order to do that, I'm just entering literally everything into this corner. I need to funnel that multi and Ricochet Cannon and Expo, and it looks like we actually are. So I should... Oh man, I lost all my Valks onto this wall. So that's a little unfortunate, but I got a Log Launcher, King, and all that working pretty well, so I don't think we'll be into any trouble. I'm going to pop the Rage and Warden right here just to keep everything alive, and my Warden was actually taking a fair bit of damage. But there's a Headhunter coming in to help out. I'm actually going to freeze just through all this because my Queen was probably going to start getting hit by a lot of them. The wall break right there was a little bit useless, to be honest. It wasn't my best. But yeah, we got the Royal Champion working right here. She's getting hit by this King, but I think we're fine. I'm going to Overgrowth this Rage Tower compartment just to kind of negate its effect. I've done this before, but yeah, just to really... actually, I'm just thinking to myself right here. I don't think I like this right now. All I got was my King way on the outside and my Royal Champion right here. But I don't think this one looks good. I don't think this is going to go through for me. I'm trying to work through, but my Royal Champion's probably going to pop. She's at least behind the Fire Spitter right here, so I've been pretty good on being patient on the ability for that point. Because, yeah, she might get a really nice ability right here. So I'm going to pop my Royal Champion ability to try and stay behind that Fire Spitter and out of damage while using it. And then, actually, I think we'll be good. I'll have an Invis for her as she approaches into the Ricochet Cannon. She's going to get hit by the Giga Bomb, but then it can freeze the backside. So you see what I did right there. I'm planting the Invis onto the single defense and then freezing where I can actually hit all the rest of the defenses. And she should get that with the help of the, what is that called? Spiky Ball right here, which I'll pop at 93% right now to hit everything left on the base. Boom, boom, boom. And there's the triple. Nice.